What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, an invisible force is protecting every human being on this planet? You can't see it. You can't touch it. Most people never think about it. Yet without it, life on Earth would not exist. This invisible protector surrounds our planet like a giant shield. It blocks deadly solar radiation. It deflects high-energy particles from deep space. It stands between Earth and the violent storms released by the sun. This force is called Earth's magnetic field. For billions of years, this magnetic shield has quietly done its job while solar storms crashed through space. While cosmic radiation bombarded the planet, while the sun unleashed massive bursts of energy, Earth survived, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because this magnetic field acted like a planetary force field, bending dangerous radiation away from the atmosphere and protecting life below. Without it, the consequences would be immediate and devastating. The air we breathe would slowly be stripped away. Satellites would fail within days or weeks. GPS, internet, and communication systems would collapse. Power grids could shut down during intense solar storms. Modern civilization as we know it depends on this invisible shield. And here's the part that has scientists paying very close attention. Recent measurements show that this magnetic shield is not as strong as it once was. In fact, it's getting weaker, not suddenly. Not dramatically overnight, but steadily, quietly, and in some regions, faster than scientists originally predicted. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a movie plot. This is real data, collected by satellites and observatories watching Earth 24 hours a day. And that's why scientists are now asking deeper questions. If Earth's magnetic shield is changing, but what does that mean for our technology, for our future, for life on this planet? So the real question is this important? The real question is, how much does this invisible change matter to us this year, and are we paying enough attention? Let's be absolutely clear, though, this is not speculation. This is not a theory pulled from social media. And this is definitely not internet fear. This is measured data. Scientists around the world are tracking Earth's magnetic field using some of the most advanced technology ever built. They rely on satellites orbiting the planet, ground-based observatories spread across continents, and decades, sometimes centuries, of recorded magnetic measurements. When all of this data is combined, one pattern stands out. The trend is consistent. Over the last 200 years, the overall strength of Earth's magnetic field has dropped by approximately 10%. That may not sound dramatic at first, but on a planetary scale, it's significant. Even more important is how this weakening is happening. It's not uniform. Some areas of Earth are experiencing a much faster decline than others. In particular, scientists are closely monitoring a region known as a magnetic anomaly, an area where the magnetic field is noticeably weaker than surrounding regions. And this anomaly isn't staying still, it's expanding, slowly, year by year. So what does this actually mean in simple terms? It means Earth's magnetic shield is becoming less evenly distributed around the planet. Instead of acting like a smooth, stable barrier, it's starting to show variations, stronger in some places, weaker in others. In scientific language, the field is becoming less uniform, less stable, more dynamic than previously expected. Now, here's an important clarification. This does not mean the magnetic field is about to vanish. It does not mean Earth is suddenly unprotected. And it does not mean disaster is coming tomorrow. What it does mean is that the Earth has entered a phase of magnetic change, and change in a system this important matters because the magnetic field isn't just a scientific curiosity. It directly interacts with solar energy, cosmic radiation, and the technology we depend on every single day. When the magnetic field shifts, even gradually, it changes how Earth responds to space weather. And that's why scientists are paying close attention, not out of panic, but out of responsibility, because understanding these changes early gives humanity something incredibly valuable time to prepare, adapt, and protect what matters most. Let's slow down for a moment. When people hear the words weakening magnetic field, fear spreads fast. Social media turns uncertainty into panic. Headlines exaggerate, and suddenly people imagine the end of the world. So let's do something different. Let's separate science from fear. A weakening magnetic field does come with real measurable risks, but those risks are manageable, and they unfold over time, not overnight. One of the first areas affected is space technology. As the magnetic field weakens, satellites can experience increased exposure to radiation from the sun and deep space. Over long periods, this can lead to more frequent satellite malfunctions, shortened satellite lifespans, temporary service disruptions. During strong solar storms, this can also affect systems we rely on every day, like GPS navigation, radio communication, and satellite-based internet. On Earth, extreme space weather can place additional stress on power grids, especially in high-latitude regions. In rare cases, this could lead to outages or equipment damage. These are real risks. But here's the key point most panic-driven discussions leave out. Humanity is not helpless. We've been studying space weather for decades. We monitor the sun 24 hours a day, and we already designed satellites with the radiation shielding specifically for these conditions. When major solar storms are detected, satellites can be put into safe mode. Sensitive systems can be temporarily shut down. Power grid operators receive warnings in advance. This isn't guesswork. It's established procedure. In fact, scientists have long known that Earth's magnetic field naturally changes over time. Some weakening was expected. What caught their attention wasn't that it's changing, but how quickly certain regions are changing and how uneven the pattern has become. That's why this moment matters. Not because we're facing an immediate crisis, not because disaster is inevitable, but because the planet is sending a signal. This isn't an emergency, it's a warning system doing its job. Nature isn't threatening us, it's informing us. And when we listen instead of panic, we gain the one thing that makes all the difference: time. Here's the bigger picture. Earth has been through magnetic changes before. The magnetic poles have shifted, the field has weakened, and later recovered. And through all of it, life survived. This tells us something important. A changing magnetic field is not new. It's part of Earth's natural rhythm. The real difference today is not the change itself. The difference is us. For the first time in human history, we're watching these changes happen in real time. Satellites track Earth's magnetic field every day. Scientists analyze patterns as they form. We don't have to guess. We can observe, measure, and understand. And that knowledge gives us power. Power to adapt our technology, power to prepare our infrastructure, power to protect satellites, communication systems, and power grids before problems happen. The weakening magnetic field is not a countdown to disaster. It's not a warning of the end. It's a reminder. A reminder that Earth is not static. It is alive, dynamic, constantly changing, and humanity is not separate from this system. We are part of it. Our future doesn't depend on stopping Earth from changing. It depends on understanding those changes and responding intelligently. That's why awareness matters more than fear. Because fear paralyzes, but awareness prepares. So here's the final thought. The most dangerous thing isn't a changing planet. The most dangerous thing is ignoring the signs a changing planet gives us. Stay curious, stay informed, and respect the invisible forces that make life on Earth possible, because Earth's magnetic shield may be invisible, but its role in protecting our world is everything